Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Hope you're having a good day today. The scrapper that delivers for me stopped by last night during another thunderstorm and dropped off 3 fine beauties. So we're going to check these out right now. So I gave 50 for the group of 3. I'm looking them over now in the daylight, and maybe that was too much. Finding some issues that I hadn't seen in the dark. But anyway, this first green one here is a Bolens 2017 model year. It's a 500E series engine. So I've already looked this one over. The safety brake cable was rusted in half, so I thought this was going to be a quick and easy fix. I snatched up a used cable from another machine. We got that working. I knew I had to change the cable anyway, and I didn't want to mess with vice grips on the kill wire. So that's what I've done so far. We're missing one handle bolt, and one is on backwards. So I've already tried to start this thing. The recoil's a little jumpy. That may need to be tightened down. Filter is well used and shrunk, dry rotted. So we'll try to start it and then turn it over. I want to show you the blade and the blade condition. It's got fuel in it, and the oil I checked, oil's at the right level, but it's in need of an oil change. Well used oil for this 2017. A lot of vibration. You can see it here jumping around. You'll notice right away blades on backwards or upside down. When I looked at it initially, I noticed the blades also bent. I picked a mark on the deck. I bring one edge of the blade to that mark, spin it. The other end of the blade should go over the same imaginary spot. So this end is pushed in more. It's not even. Blade's bent and it's worn out. Even for chopping on the wrong side, there's a bunch of wear here. This is the blunt side, this is the sharp side. If it wasn't bent, I'd just turn it around, get a nice edge on it and put it back on, but this is going in the trash scrap pile because it's bent. So we got multiple things to do on this. I'm going to do the carb clean anyway. There's a lot of grease and snot here. I got to clean all this up. I want to send it out fresh, and I got to degrease it and paint the engine block shaker can black. So this has got a few issues. We'll rectify those. They're not major issues. I looked at the shaft as I was spinning it earlier. There's no bend in the shaft, so it's just a blade issue. If I had seen any wobbling in the shaft, I would send this to the pick and pull section. So that's the 2017 Bolens. We're going to work our way down to this 675 Craftsman. This has a production date November of 2011. So I also got a gas can in the deal. 3 mowers gas can for $50. So the deal with this one scrapper said that the fuel was leaking out of the carburetor. So he thought maybe it was a float bowl issue. The fuel line's actually disconnected and tucked up here near the backing plate for the air filter. So fuel must have been pouring out of it. Somebody disconnected the fuel line and stuck it up here to stop any further fuel leaks. So I went to Happy Juice this just because we don't have a fuel source and I got nothing. I went ahead and took the plug off. The plug had no spark. I grabbed a couple of good plugs to test the coil, make sure we had a good coil. None of the other plugs worked, so we got a dead coil on this 675. I had one last week, one of these quantum styles with a dead coil, so I'll have to dig up one and throw it on here. So the other issue with this thing is cables. This has got a funky cable system. Let me bring you around. I don't like these complicated cable systems. They're a pain in the ass and they're expensive to replace. This has a double cable here for the engine brake, and I think it also releases the bag clip here down on the deck. So what's actually broken and missing is the self-propelled bar. There's no self-propelled bar, and you can see the end of the cable here. It actually has a brake control style cable here, which mounts on the side of the handle. So I probably don't have something like this in stock. I'll have to special order it. And it'll probably be a $35 cable. And I have to come up with the grab bar for the handle, so I'll be scrounging around trying to find a grab bar. If I can, I'll have to order that new. Since this is a 2011, I'm going to be paying a premium for these parts because they've been sitting on a shelf somewhere, and there's probably not too many left. I'm going to walk around my scrap section and check some possibilities out, but I probably don't have this. The grab bar is going to be the tough one to find. Let's move on down to the last piece of crap. This happens to be a 2009, June of 2009 production date, a 6.5 Toro quantum style. So this actually ran, he put it on the ground and it started, but as you can see, all the front wheel drive apparatus is missing. The drive belt is well used. So I just started this before I brought you kids on board. Blade is bent, there's a vibration, and the blade shaft is not bent, so we got another blade issue with this 2009. Also, when I was under there, I noticed there's one engine bolt missing, 2 out of 3 are on, and then I see in the little pile of parts, whoever took off the blade guard here broke off the engine bolt, so I got more work to do getting the stud out of the block. I'll have to mess with that. When they removed this belt guard, they ended up breaking off the engine bolt. So, unfortunately, it's more work for me. So did a little snooping around, figuring out why they were messing with the front wheel drive, and they went ahead and messed with all this and destroyed a bunch of stuff for nothing. I come up here to the cable, the drive cable, and there's way too much slack here in the cable. If you can see that, this should have been brought down another inch or so, get rid of all this slack, and the front wheel drive would have engaged. You can see what I mean here. I've got action on the cable, and I'm all the way dead end here, and now it's taut, so you're not going to get shit out of the front wheel drive because it's just starting to engage here, and I don't have any more room to go. The slack needs to come out. So somebody figured they need to destroy all of this. Anyway, that's what you get. Harvey and Helen, homeowner, messing around. They should have went to YouTube and watched some joker fix one of these recyclers. Just spinning the pulley on the front wheel drive, it does engage both wheels. So when I resolve all these other issues, the bent blade, getting that broken bolt out of the block, I think we'll be all set. Like I said, this thing started. Why don't I go ahead and show you the start. You can see the engine is not secure, but we'll just start it for a second. A little smoky, the idle needs to be turned up. That's idling way too low. So this thing needs a little bit of work. But I think we'll be able to rectify this 2009, June of 09 production date. So overall, I wouldn't call this a good haul for 50. He said next time he comes, he'd maybe throw something in extra, because he knew he got a good price for these three. He knows that 50 for all this rough stuff was kind of too much. 40 would have been okay. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to go to work on this Bolens. I have 3 self-propelled for sale. I want to get another cheap pusher ready to go. I sold one of these high wheels yesterday. Gentleman come out because he saw my ad and saw the high wheels. So these are good sellers. The high wheelers, they're easy to push. People know the difference. They're not the baby 8-inch wheels. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Have a good day today. Tip your waitress and wait staff. They depend on you. Come back and see me. I may do a follow-up video on one or all of these 3 fine junkers.